Alright, welcome to a tutorial on building in Solace Crafting. Since you're watching this, you probably booted up the game and progressed a little, and you have probably pressed B at some point and started building and wondering, what is it that I'm seeing here? Don't worry, you're not the first one to have trouble understanding this. The building system in Solace Crafting is quite a lot different than it is in a lot of other games. First of all, in a lot of other games, there you will be building different segments. You might be building foundations and walls and such, and usually you place them afterwards. In Solace Crafting, it is compacted, and for this reason, I have collected a lot of wood in advance. And to make a building, just press B. When you have pressed B and press the select new button down below here, you are giving this little green select thing. This is basically selection for. Oh, hello. Gonna remove this guy. I have chosen a character which is high level for the usage of. For the benefit of this video. Anyway, you press B, you get a selection for where you want to start your building. If you want to build higher or lower, you can actually use your Q and E buttons to raise the first foundation you want to lay down. I want to lay my first foundation up a little bit, so I'm gonna put it there and pressing left click to this new dialog. The first thing is that you are going to give it a name. We don't really care what it's going to be called here, so we just call it, let's say, building tutorial. Then you are given a choice of which resource you want to build it with. And in this case, well, I picked up a lot of wood, but you can do stone if you want. It's just currently, it's much easier to use wood because, well, there's a lot of trees, there's not as much stone. And the hit points of the buildings doesn't actually matter yet. It will soon, though. Anyway, you can see how much wood I actually have on me, how much timber I have. And you can also see the tier selection here, which is tier 0, because it is in the starting area. So you have moved about 540 meters away from the starting Solace. The rarity is if you are wanting to use green, blue, purple, red, whatever. But we're just going to use regular good old wood. And we're going to press OK. See, now the first foundation here, it built. And the green square moved up. Green square, if you hold down right mouse, you can actually move around while you are building, which is very, very handy. The green square is just the selection. It's not actually building anything. It's just the selection. Consider it like a mouse pointer. You can move the selection by using WASD, like so. W for moving it forward. S for moving it backwards. And of course A and D to move it sideways. To move it up and down, you use Q and E, like so. So basically, this selection here is, well, what you use to select where you want to build. For starters, let's make a little platform. So we're going to move our selection down here, because we want a foundation here. Now we get to the interesting part. This is where most people get stuck in the start. See this interface down here? There's a lot of stuff. And it looks complicated, but it really, really isn't. It's just very, very compacted. Middle square, which is green here at the moment, basically means, well, anything that goes in the middle of a square when you're building, such as stairs, as you can see here. You can see the selection over here also turns into a stair. Let's just move it up here so you can see it properly. There's a ramp, there's an obelisk, stone stairs. If we had some stone on us, we could build that, but we don't at the moment. And finally, there's the Solace. We'll get back to that later. Alright, then there's the small lines around that square. Basically, that means your edges. So, currently it's a big block still, right? But if we select, let's see, a wall, for example, you can see that wall down here and the wall shown up here is in the same place. Likewise, if we turn it around here, you see, oh, it's all the wall squares. And everything that is built on the, go away. We'll just let it hit on me for a second. Basically, everything that fits into the wall category will be on these squares. So if you wanted to make a doorway, you just select a doorway. If you wanted to make a sloped roof, you would need one of these triangles. Solid walls, walls with a window in it. The same goes for the stones here. Let's just remove this guy. He's getting annoying. Alright, so we accidentally, well, not accidentally, but we exited the building. So how do we continue building on this? Well, we press B again. We press the select or new. If we put a square here, we would start a new structure. We would suddenly litter the whole area with different houses. We don't want to do that. So we press cancel. And you can see how it turns blue when I'm over here. That is just selecting the existing structure. So we left click this. Now we can move our selection again, just like before. We were doing the walls. Let's move on to something else now. Top one here. You see I'm clicking it and you can probably hear it if I'm going a little closer to my mouse. You can hear the clicking. You can't select it. That is because this is reserved for the roof tiles, but currently there are no roof tiles in the game. However, the foundation tiles, they are found down here. And in the foundation tiles you can find something like the wood floor. See, it's like a small flooring. And you can find the foundation, which is the big block that we have here. And you can find the stone floor, just likewise as the wood floor, just made of stone. And you can find the stone foundation. It's also like the stone wooden block here, just made of stone. Just like the Solace platform that you start off at when you enter the game the very first time. So let's expand a little on the platform that we have here. By clicking the foundation, moving the selection down, and pressing the construct button down in the bottom here. Now we still have our selection. Just can't see it because the selection and the foundation is on top of each other. See, if I move selection up and down, see, it actually appears again. However, this time the foundation actually was rotated a bit compared to what we wanted. So let's move it downwards by pressing Q. We'll also use arrows over here. These arrows are for selecting up and down. Likewise, we could have used these arrows instead of WASD to move our selection. But we're going to continue with the keyboard shortcuts because they will be very, very useful very soon. So let's press the deconstruct to remove it. Press upgrade. The upgrade is not very descriptive text for the button, I guess, but I'm sure Malcare or Carl Postlethwaite, as his real name is, the developer of this game, he will change it at some point when he has got the time for it. He's currently working on a lot of other stuff. Anyway, our wood foundation before was turned around, so let's use one of these rotate buttons. Rotate counterclockwise or clockwise, doesn't really matter. We'll click it once, and then we're gonna press construct again. See, now it's aligned. Oh, not quite. Let's press it twice here, so we rotate it the other way around. It's a little bit tedious to press this upgrade button every time. But fortunately, there is actually a shortcut, and that is pressing the space bar. So if we move our selection here, press the space bar, voila! We just constructed it. Holding down the right mouse, I can actually move on to the platform now. And this little guy is getting a little bit upset because now he can't actually get to me. But this lets us continue our building. So let's, using the WASD, Q and E for up and down, let's expand a little on this platform. So we have a 3x3 square here. That's good for a little bit of house. All right. So you want some security when you're first starting out in Solace Crafting. So let's add some walls so that the creepy crawlies cannot get to us. So again, let me just do this again. I press B, press the select new button. I click on somewhere on my existing structure. You can see it turns blue. Left click it to select it. And now I can use my Q and E WASD to move my selection around. I select the wall. And I think we want to have, say, have a doorway up here and a ramp leading up. That would be nice. And perhaps just regular walls around it. So let's see, we need some regular walls. Construct by space. And let's move it back over here because we need the same over here as well. So let's put one there and one there. And now we need some sideways. You can see as you're turning, the interface down the bottom actually turns as well, so you can see what you have selected. I want what is facing this way. So you can see the selection over here. Just need to move it in there. Boink, boink, boink. We have walls here. Move it over to the other side. Boink, boink, boink. And as you could, maybe you notice that even though the wall is currently showing the left side wall of the square, and if you move it around, well, you can cover the right side as well. It's really just where your selection square is, so you can play around with that. Anyway, let's add a doorway here. Let's see, my selection is here. Put doorway and build. Now we have some new options over here. We have wooden door and we have the deconstruct. And we want to actually build and not tear it down, so we press the wooden door. Press upgrade. The upgrade button does not have a shortcut like the construct button, where we just press space. So there is that, but otherwise it's still fast. So now we have a basic house. Let's exit it. We have opened the door. Oh, it's a creepy crawly. But there is an issue. We can't really get up there. So let's build ourselves a ramp by again pressing B, select new, pressing the building, moving to the selection out, and the ramps are in the center block. Goes into the center. Let's select the ramp here. And this one is not quite what we need, so we need to rotate it a little bit. 1, 2, there we go. Using spacebar. Oh, building obstructed. Oh, why? Why is it obstructed? But there's nothing there. Well, sometimes stuff like a cabbage can actually obstruct stuff. Sometimes stuff like doors can actually obstruct something. So this is one of the small building bugs that are currently in that Kyle will be correcting. However, if we select our building here, select our doorway, select the right wall tile here, and tell it to say deconstruct the door. Now there's no cabbage, there's no door, nothing that should be obstructing the building. So now we should be able to make our ramp, sliding on the corpse of that earth elemental there. Anyway, now we have our ramp, we press space to construct, and voila! We can move the selection up, we can select the wall tile, select the doorway, put it in place, construct, select the door, and upgrade, and here we are! Nice little pathway up to our door. We're still going to get a little bit wet in here because, well, it's a nice view to the stars, but let's add in a roof. Pressing B, selecting my existing building here just to start it off. Moving the selection up. Gonna select the wall tile here, and let's see, wood triangles. let's see, these triangles sometimes flip around the wrong way according to what you're seeing here. So there's a little bit of trial and error going on. Let's try to build it here. Yep, this was one of the flips. Let's turn around instead because oh, yep, still wrong. Let's just select the other one. But that is to be expected. After all, it's still an early access game here. There is a few bugs that will be sorted over time. So for now, we know that currently these are reverse. Shouldn't really do anything to us. We can build around that. Let's see, where's our selection? Let's put a window up there because, well, why not? And let's put a window over here as well. Actually, it would be nice with a window over here as well. So how do we do that? How do we change that? Well, we move our selection. Want this side of the wall. Let's move it down. Let's move it over the existing wall. And let's deconstruct the current wall. Boink. And put in the window. Boink. There we go. Nice little view. But a little bit open, so let's craft a shutter as well. There we go. Now we can now actually open and close the window we want. There's currently no selection to which way the doors and shutters open and close as far as I remember. But with a little bit of trial and error you can rotate it. Let's try to actually select this one and rotate it a bit. So let's deconstruct the whole thing. Let's put in the wooden window again. Oh, no, never mind. We forgot to rotate it. There we go. Let's rotate it 1, 2, and see if that actually helps. I haven't actually tried this before. Alright. Does it open outwards? No. But I'm sure Kyle will have this added in time so that you can choose which way it opens. Or maybe have it open and close automatically away from your character. Anyway, let's continue with the little building project here. We need some roofing up here. We have a square and we need some sloped roof tiles. Since there's no roof tiles at the moment, we can use the ramp for our purpose, like this. 1, 2, 3. And let's move our selection over to the other side. Turn around the ramp by rotating it. 1, 2, 3. And we need a little bit of a roof up here. We still don't have any roof tiles, but we do have a wooden floor that we can use for the same purpose. So we go to the floor tiles here, select the wooden floor, move it up. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we have got a nice little house now. Does look a little bit like a barn, doesn't it? And we can't actually go up and look outside of those windows. That is a problem. So let's build a little floor system in here. Select the building again, go one up, and select the middle one. Place in some stairs. This is not exactly the stairs I had in mind. Let's see, where do we want to go up the stairs? How about here? And let's turn the stairway so that it faces in the right direction. This is nice. So let's put that one there. We don't actually have to go up the stairs to build there. We can just stay down here, move the selection, and put in some more wooden floors to double as ceilings. And let's make a whole flooring area up here. Boing, 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 boing. And remember not to actually close off the part where you want to enter the door. So there you have it. Now we have a second floor. We have got a little attic going on here. You can, well, this is a little cramped for what I usually build. I usually build so that there's more breathing room above the character. But I mean, to everyone their own liking. So you can build it any way you want. And any amount of tiles up and down and whatnot. One more thing to note, because if you are watching this to build your very, 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 very first building, you should have a good grasp about how the building system works now. But there's the solaces. You see these big purple lines over here. Well, those are actually solaces like the one that you start at. These are just upgraded, but I don't really want to go into the upgrading part yet. But I do want to go into the solace building part. To build a solace, well, let's just demonstrate it here. Let's say we wanted to be able to teleport into our house safety, like over here. Build menu, select. I'm gonna select the middle square here. And the solaces are in the center part because, well, a solace goes into the center position. And you can see the solace over here. It's actually a magic thing. If you click these, you can turn off the buildings that you don't want. For example, I don't have any stone on me, so clicking off the stone would make sense. Metal is not in the game yet either, so clicking that off is good. We have the wooden things. Turning off the wooden things, leave the magic things, and the solace is magic. And you can see this little thing here. That might be hard to see now. Let's see. Let's do this. See, it says light 20. Alright, what is light? Well, I have a lot of light on this character. Light is gained when you are out killing monsters. So basically, one of these little guys here, you kill him, you will get some experience down here, and you will get some light. I'm not getting anything on this character because, well, I'm using one of my high level characters for this video. But normally, if you're in a level appropriate area, so say you're just starting out and just starting to have a few of these fights with these guys, you will for certain get both XP and light. You might also run into some guys that look larger than other guys. As this guy, for example. See the size difference here. This is because this guy is a champion, and he will hit quite a lot harder and have more hit points than this little guy here. Let's kill these off, just for the sake of the demo here. You can see down here, it says Earth Elemental Champion. The reason that I'm even doing this in a building tutorial video is that the champion will give both more XP and more light when you kill them. But beware, they are also quite a bit tougher. So, once you have enough light, remember in the building menu it said we needed 20 light. Once you have enough, you can... let's close the door so the creepy crawlies don't come inside. Once you have enough light, you can go in your building and select where you want it. Let's press the Solace here, and you can press construct. Uh-oh, this must be built on a foundation. Well, yeah. See, these wooden floors aren't exactly foundations, and the foundations are down here. So we can either build a Solace down here, but if we did want to actually move it up, a simple solution would be to, instead of having a floor up there, take this flooring up here, select it, deconstruct it, and let's put the wood foundations back in and just put a foundation in here. There we go, big, ugly, old square in the middle of the house. But for the purpose of actually getting the Solace further up here, we can do just that. Now we can select the Solace and we can, there. Yay, now we have a Solace, our very own first Solace. Well, it's not my first, but it may be your first when you're watching this video and learning how to build. Inside the Solace, pressing F on it, you have a lot of options. You can see, first of all, up on the top here, it will say Solace number whatever. They will be sequential. The more you build, the higher the number. But they don't have to be this name. I mean, who's gonna remember where your Solace 22 is located in the world? So clicking this little icon next to it will allow you to actually rename it. So you can say, okay, my first Solace, yay! Now the cool thing about Solaces, well, there's many cool things about Solaces, But one of the cool things about Solaces is that you can travel between them. So you can see here, I've got several Solaces here. But you will at least have the broken Solace by default, because that Solace is the one that you start with, and it's not actually your own. So loads up here. Yeah. See, this is my broken Solace where I started. I've just put a lot of building stuff on it. I have some test structures next to it. Bitsy small things. For example, the little trick about the ramps and the doors being obstructed. I had a previous video about this bug. This is purpose I used this little structure for example. Anyway, you can do a lot more with Solaces than just traveling. For this sake, let's go back to Solace that we just built before. My first Solace. Let's teleport there again. And here we are. Yay! Solaces, you can also store a lot of stuff. Normally when you start, I think you have about 500 storage, and you can see I have quite a bit more than 500. The reason that I have more than 500 is that you can actually upgrade them. So if you click on the upgrade storage here, well, upgrade Solace, you can see there's the level, there's the population, the power, the storage, the beacon, and the aura. Several of these aren't actually active right now, like the aura one, which will supposedly at some point give you a buff, some beneficial effect in the area of the Solace once it's active. But anyway, for now it's not active. Remember the big beams of light we had outside here? See here? Those are actually beacons. And I know I forgot to close the door, never mind that. Those are the beacons here. So if we upgrade the beacon, 20 light, the first one, and go have a look, you should be able to see, oh, I just had to spin around here. Oh, it's not actually there. That is, it's currently a bug in the beta, which I'm sure I'm making this video on. See up in the top here, 0105E. The beacon is there, it's just not showing right now. A quick way to fix that bug is to quit, save and return to main menu, and quickly load in the world again. I'm gonna select my world on my character, and once we're back in we should be able to see the beacon. There it is. See? There's now a small beacon on top of it. That is the first upgrade of the beacon. So it's not very big, but for starters, it is very nice when you're out in the world and want to figure out where is my house. Where is my... Oh, there's the beacon. Ah, my house is there. Okay. Obviously, when you... we could easily see it here, but if you're far away, it might make it easier for you to find. There's a little more stuff in the Solace yet to explore. For example, you might have noticed the button down here, the little house on it. That is your teleport. Normally it teleports you to your broken Solace for the very first time, but you can actually set it to another Solace of your own choosing by clicking the upgrades button and set as home. So now if we go somewhere in the world, like here, and press the teleport, we will be teleporting to our new home, which is this Solace, as we just marked it. A few more things to explore here is, well, the storage. That was the reason I had the very high storage, as you can see here, much higher than when you start off your first game. However, first time you build a Solace, you cannot actually upgrade it. And the reason for this is that you need to level up your Solace first. So let's try to do that. Okay, warning, this upgrade will trigger a search of demons. You can see the level of it and the difficulty. Are you prepared to face the challenge? Yes, we are, we think. We are actually not. What happens is that a lot of demon waves come out, as you can see here. Oh, go away. And they will go to the Solace, and you can see the hit points on the green bar on the screen here, up here. You can see them gradually going down. And once that is down, well, the event will fail, and you won't actually have upgraded your Solace. However, there are ways around this, which you will see in just a moment. Not sure, am I actually hitting them? No, I wasn't. Anyway, there are some things that we can build to prevent this. We can build defensive measures. For example, to discourage our little buddies from attacking us constantly. So let's make a little platform system here. Do we want to make it with floor tiles, or do we want to make it with foundations? It doesn't really matter, but I mean, looks are important for some people, and it's important for others. But for starters, let's just make some foundations. Let's see, here, and we have a nice little pathway here. And let's put them all around here. How about over here? Let's put, let's just make it a block up here, because why not? Oh, and we have some space below. I don't like that, so I'm gonna move the selection down, build a little under it, just for the sake of, well, cosmetics. There we go. Continue our platform. There we go. Now we have a nice structure. Oh, there's a little bit of hole in there. Move our selection down. Construct, 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 construct. Let's exit and look at our new work here. Nice little ramp. And we have a platform going around the house. So, why do we want this platform? Well, the reason is that we have this thing called obelisks in the game. And obelisks, while not obviously, while not obvious from the name, is actually a defensive turret. And this one is the only one in the game right now. It's rather weak. There will be several types later on, and upgradable types. But see this little guy that wants to get to me? Well, let's place an obelisk. Now he is actually getting hit by that obelisk. They shoot pretty fast, but they only do about half to 1.2 damage each time. However, if you place several of them, they will all shoot once. And each of them will lock on to a target and keep shooting that as long as they are alive and in range. So since we have a lot of wood on us, let's just build us a few of these. And you can, of course, pick and choose how to build it and how it should look like. Oh, this one is obstructed. You see, we've got this window with a shutter here. So let's remove that window, deconstruct, and just make a regular wall instead. Move the selection out, put it in the center. Oops, and now we can put our obelisk. Let's put some up here as well, just for completeness, but we want this window to be free. There we go. That's nice, isn't it? However, obelisks, even though they look like a wooden obelisk, you can build them any way you like. I mean, you can even attach them in midair like this, because as long as the block you have selected is connected to another block, well, then you can build it. If it's not connected like this, well, we could actually build that. At some point, I'm not really sure when. Oh, you can build there as well. Anyway, sometimes it will say that it needs to attach to something, meaning that you should put it next to something. But in this case, it seems that we could build outside it. There's still a few bugs in the system that will get weeded out over time. Anyway, now we have a set of obelisks. Let's try that demon thing again. So open our door, go to our Solace, press the upgrade button, and try to upgrade the level. You can also see there's a little red dot here indicating that there's an event going on when we press it. So let's try this again. Since our turrets are going to do the damage, our obelisks, we are going to just be watching from outside here. And they will shoot through walls, just as the demons also will be flying through walls for now. You can also see the damage spam going on down here, so you can see demons are actually getting hit. And the Solace upgrade worked. So let's take a look. You can see now in the upgrades menu, it now says level 2, and it now costs 40 light to upgrade even further. However, the storage button is now lit. So let's first take a look at how much storage I have right now. Let's see, 4,900. That's 100 more than I had before. That's because when we upgraded this, the Solace from level 1 to level 2, we gained 100 storage. When we go to the upgrade and click the upgrade button, boing, now it's storage 1. You can go here, see another 100 was added. So this is very, very useful to know to increase your storage in the Solace, which is very, very handy for storing everything. Basically, well, not everything. Some things you will have to store in chests and whatnot. Anyway, that was a quick primer on the obelisks and how to upgrade your Solace as well. The population part and the power part does not really do anything right now. Will be coming in future updates when Carl has a chance to implement that. And you can see how the beacon is very, very nice and visible at night now. This one is actually upgraded to the max, so you can see that from very, 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 very far away. Let's see, is there anything else that we want to show in the building primer here? Well, everything that we did in wood here, you can basically do in stone, almost. So there are some tiles available in wood that are not available in stone. But for the most part, you can do everything in both. However, the stairs are a little bit different. So as you can see here, this is a wooden stair. Well, the preview of one, that's why we can go through it. If we were to build now, it would say obstructed. No, it wouldn't. Oh, it can actually clip through it. Oh, I didn't know that. So Carl actually made both the ramp and the stair able to clip through the ground now. That is a very nice touch. That is a very nice touch. Anyway, stairs like these you can use for many things, because not only are they useful for going up floors, but you can actually make your own little lookout towers. Let's make a lookout tower inside the building. Let's say somewhere inside where we feel safe, should we make a big building. So how about we add a room over here with a staircase going upwards to a lookout tower. So again, B, and select something on our existing structure. Let's remove this ramp here and make an open space. Let's see, how about a wooden floor like this? And this is going to be a little cold, isn't it? Let's add in some walls. Wall. Sadly, there's no tiles left for closing the gap here, but we can just put a wall here and a wall here. Oops, there we go, like this, for example. And let's put one here as well. And let's start building our stairway to heaven. You see the stone stairs they go up and down on one tile in the same direction, basically. Where the wooden stairs, well, the stone stairs go up in one direction, where the wooden ones they change direction 90 degrees clockwise. Let's just put in one here, but we can put one more here by rotating it. Just continue our building up here and rotate, and one forward, one up, and rotate, one forward, one up, and rotate, and so on and so forth. So you can easily build yourself a little lookout tower. This can be especially useful for if you're in an area further out in the game and you want to look for resources at night, where they light up, they will glow in the color of their rarity. For example, an uncommon rarity will show up as green glow, and a rare rarity will, well, show up as blue, and so on and so forth. It's very useful to make a quick little tower, so to speak. What else do we have? Well, we can quickly add a roof to this part. Can't to this part because otherwise, well, wouldn't be able to get up the stairs if we did. I think that is pretty much it for a building primer here. Let's just quickly go outside and see if there's anything I should cover. We covered the basic foundation part, covered the new structure part. This, making a new structure versus continuing building on an existing one. We covered how to move our selection using WASD, forward, backwards, left and right, and so on, and up and down. We covered how to do it on the arrows in the interface, where my mouse is currently clicking. We covered rotating stuff, and that is more easily seen like this, and clicking the rotate buttons each direction. We can also move it up and down here, just like with Q and E. We covered that the middle square is for all the center stuff. We covered that the side squares are for walls. We covered that the top one is for roof tiles, but not currently clickable because they are not in game yet. And we finally covered that the bottom ones are for the floor or foundation tiles, as you can see here. And that is pretty much everything that you need to know to start your own little house, or even make a grand castle or fortress or whatever you fancy. I mean, you could even make a whole village. You can also, oh yeah, there's actually one thing I didn't cover. Most building games like this, or survival games I should say, they have a system for, let's say, adding realism. One such game which is very popular is called 7 Days to Die. And in 7 Days to Die there's a structural integrity system, which basically means that you can't build a huge bridge just straight out into thin air without support. It will collapse. However, in Solace Crafting there is no such structural integrity system. So if you feel like it, oops, I probably shouldn't go out there before I actually build something. Feel like it, you can actually make a huge walkway out into distance, and you can actually have one structure become multiple structures if you so like, or you can link them like so. This is not going to fall down, and even if we delete part here in the middle, not going to fall down. So there's no sort of like punishment for accidentally moving or removing a part of your house that would otherwise make the thing collapse in a lot of other games. So yeah. One more thing, just to reiterate, don't make too many structures. There's really no point of it. So, for example, don't try to continue this structure by selecting one here. Well, it's silly. There's no need for it, and it would never completely align. I mean, you could try to make it pretty pixel perfect, but you would just have a lot of structures, and it would become messy. So just select your existing one and continue building on that one. And I think that is pretty much it. Yeah, that is pretty much it. So I hope that this video helped you understand how building works in Solace Crafting. And yeah, if it did, or if it didn't, well, leave a comment below. And if there's something I missed, you can request that, and I just might make a video of that. So, with that being said, yeah, that's it for this time, and I hope you enjoyed, and have a nice one.